Hey guys, KRX here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing Astro Switch Set 04 from Kamen Rider Force. This is the fourth set of switches, and like the others, includes three things. 2 Astro switches and 1 Ganba Ride card. So, we'll look at the card first, and focusing in here is a card of Kamen Rider Force in base state, but it's different from the one that was included with Astro Switch Set 01. First off, we have an image not just of Forza in base state, but with the rocket module and drill module equipped, and from the look of it, executing the Rider Rocket Drill Kick, his special attack. So we've got the information down here. We've got Astro Switch Set 04 to show where it comes from. Also have the icons for the rocket, launcher, drill, and radar switches, which I'll explain why that's there later, or just in a bit. His attacks are kick 90, punch 80, kick 80, kick 60, punch 50, and punch 60. You've got the name, you've got his type, you've got special attack, which is complete burning module rush, which does 2000 damage, attack is 500, defense is 400, and speed is 450. And flipping over to the back, we see that instead of like with the past cards, where it just has 4 placeholder switches, and the player has to use their real life switches to use Forza's special ability, this one has the first 4 switches automatically turned on, so when this card is used in the Ganba Ride game, he automatically gets the power boosts that are attained by using those switches. Got the image there, the symbol there, and there's also an illustrator credit to Naochika Morishita, which means that, unlike the past cards, where they've been computer-generated images, the image on this card is actual artwork by a hired artist. And when it comes to art on cards, Ganba Ride doesn't use that all too much. Rather, if you wanted to find if you want to find Kamen Rider cards that have actual artist artwork on them, you usually look to the Kamen Rider cards from the Ranger Strike card game, which is the Super Sentai card game, or at least the one that was around before Daiso. So that's it for the card. Now we can look at the switches. This set includes switches number 21 and number 22. So first is number 21, the stealth switch. This is a cross switch and has a violet color to it. You can see that the shape is actually similar to the beat switch, with a rounded part over the cross symbol. But it's not the same mold, as the beat switch had the copyright information of that set, whereas this one does not. And there is a reason why and I think I can kind of explain why they did that, and I'll just get to that a little bit later. We have the sticker here with number 21, and the kind of image of like a stealth bomber in the background. So here's the switch mechanism to activate it. You take this part and twist it to the right until the white parts are covered up, essentially concealing them, like so. Next is number 22, the hammer switch. This is a square switch with a yellowish-orange color. We see the mechanism here. We've also got the sticker here, which shows a double-ended hammer and the number 22. To activate this, you just take this part, which resembles a hammer, and press it down like that, and then right back up to deactivate it, and you guys can see how that works. And there's a little nub here that presses down on this, and that's what pushes out the tab. So, bringing in the Forza driver, just set on the switches as the shortcut. So, just adjusting this into place. First off is the stealth switch. So putting that in its socket. Switching it on. So that equips the stealth module, which kind of has a similar kind of stealth bomber shape to it. It's kind of this symbol-like module that attaches to Forza's right leg, and when he stomps with that leg, he can turn invisible for short periods of time. This is kind of why I think they just kind of went with a design similar to that of a past Switch, which is because, as opposed to other modules where you can kind of think of something physical in your head when you hear the words that are their names, stealth is not exactly an object, it's a concept of becoming hidden. So I can kind of see why, for the stealth switch itself module, they couldn't really come up with any kind of specific object of any kind that would really allude to stealth. Instead, they just made a module that could turn Forza invisible. So turning it off, and taking this out, and putting in hammer. Switching it on. So that's the sound of a hammer slamming into the ground, and that equips the hammer module, which is a large double-ended hammer that goes on Forza's left hand. So we can turn back on stealth, and do a limit break with the two. And so there we go. So just bring the stuff back into focus. So once again, this is another Switch set. Stealth and hammer are interesting, as the hammer switch I find to be pretty cool, as it has, you know, a really good way of just kind of showing what the switch is. And it is pretty cool to just kind of slam that down. And the stealth switch is interesting too, as it does slightly copy the design of a past switch, and yet manages to still be unique. And like I said, because stealth isn't exactly an object and really a concept, I can kind of forgive them for that, because I don't really think that anything they could really come up with would really work. So they just decided to just keep stealth as really a concept and not really an object. And plus it's got another cool card, and the first card released in the sets to have switches that are turned on automatically. So yeah, if you're collecting the switches, definitely worth getting. I think the stealth switch might be available through Gachapon or Candy Toy, but I think that currently this is the only way to get the hammer switch. So, thanks for watching. Happy New Year's, everybody. This is my first review of the year, so gonna be continuing on from here. So, please rate, comment, subscribe, and check out my channel for more videos. And for now, this is KRX50, writing off.